So I'd like to make a motion that we open the select board meeting of Monday, January 22nd, 2024. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne.
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler.
Aye.
Mr. Darcy.
Aye.
Unanimous vote to open the select board meeting for January 2022, 2024.
2024. Okay, we'll move on to the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'll move past Chairman's comments. There were none this evening. And we can move right, if you're ready, Mr. Maresco, to the Town Administrator.
I am, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Town Administrator Report. Participated in storm preparation meetings at the EOC with Lieutenant Shaw and our key departments, DPW, Police, and Fire. Made plans to make our town buildings available for residents who lost power to be able to go to the senior center, library, and town hall to warm up and charge their phones if residents do not have power. And that goes without saying, most of our storms, we do that, unless we have generators in our buildings. Attended the Plymouth County ARPA meeting to hear about their update on programs with Sean Strobel, our treasurer. He'll be voted in later this evening as by the Select Board. Treasurer needs to be authorized to submit applications on behalf of our town to Plymouth County ARPA funds. Sean will be submitting 2 applications for ARPA funds to cover the cost of the town's 2 new ambulances that we've been waiting for a year and a half. She had a meeting with the Ocean Bluff Preservation Group, Rod Procaccino from the DPW, along with Ken Ryan, our other engineer, to discuss the Ocean Bluff revetment project and potential phasing, the $32 million project. This is a very complex and costly project, mainly because it's underwater for a majority of the time. Potentially a work road for the crane would need to be built halfway down the beach. The project would affect about 16 to 18 houses. More information is needed regarding grants, phasing, and time frame. More to be heard. Participate in the filming of a short piece with Robert Goitis from the MCM regarding the Marshfield Duxbury Beach Nourishment Project, which is going on. This project consists of supply and delivery of 217,320 tons of compatible beach and sediment. Beach and sediment along Bay Avenue and Gurnett Road beaches in Marshfield and Duxbury over a distance of approximately 3,540 linear feet, starting in Marshfield north of Bay Ave and going down for beach access on the ramp, extending to Cable Hill Way off Gurnett Road in Duxbury. Time of year restrictions established to protect nesting shorebirds requires the work to be completed between December 1st and March 28, 2024. Had a meeting with the Marshfield Girl Scouts and Brownies regarding their democracy badge. Girl Scouts were accompanied by their leaders and some parents, gave them a tour of the town hall, and explained the role of the select board and the town administrator. Town clerk invited the Scouts to attend the wedding ceremony that she was performing on the back steps. Scouts were invited by the chair of the select board to recite the Pledge of Allegiance to kick off last select board meeting. The Scouts are definitely business-minded because they did sell a number of Girl Scout cookies during their visit. Met with Todd Goodwin, our Executive Director of IT, to review our open government module and other options for the town as we're upgrading our IT system during the Munis conversion. Participated in a meeting regarding the barn at 214 Moraine Street with Fred, our Facility Director, Tony, our Assistant Facility Director, Gary Russell from the Board of Health to discuss options for septic systems if we're able to put a housing unit into the barn on Moraine Street, the old Garrettson Farm Barn, and the farmhouse off of Webster Street, Garrettson Farmhouse. Both would be challenging for different reasons. We'll continue to review options. If we can't get housing units and the costs are too expensive, we may need to get rid of these donated properties. Had a meeting with Danielle Kerrigan to review a number of personnel-related issues and to review requested upgrades by some of our employees. Participated in the CPC meeting regarding a number of town-related projects that have requested funding through Community Preservation Fund, the Revolutionary War Memorial, the Garrettson Barn roof, which is on hold at the moment. Daniel Webster House needs a chimney. Both of their chimneys, all 4 chimneys, need to be sealed. In the GAR property, upgrades and repairs. Participated in the Maya Safety Meeting with a number of our department heads from DPW, police, fire, schools, HR, and facilities. These meetings were important to identify safety issues and options to prevent in the future, along with additional training offered by Maya. The more programs we participate, the town gets financial reduction in our cost of insurance. Participated in a conference call with Tom Hickey, Superintendent at South Shore Regional Technical Vocational High School, regarding their timetable for the release of the cost for the new high school, potential MSBA funding, and additional information meetings in Marshfield at some point. Marshfield officially can participate as a voting member as of July 1st, 2024. Meeting with Fred and Tony to review ongoing maintenance issues and construction projects, including modernization of Town Hall, upgrading the bathroom, showers, and locker rooms for the men and women of the Marshfield Fire Department. Fred and Tony also made badly needed maintenance of the library plaza exterior wall that was leaking and poorly insulated. Chaired the town administrator's monthly department head meeting hosted by the library. Discussed a number of issues, including open and closing of the warrant, town meeting, the annual town meeting warrant special. Annual reports, advisory board joint meeting on March 26th, annual town meeting on April 22nd at Marshfield High School Auditorium, local town elections on April 27th, and FY25 budget process, along with department updates. All information is to be shared with each department's employees. Participated in a meeting with Joe Coletti, business manager for Recycle Works, regarding the disposal of food waste. This company collects the food waste and turns the disposal of the waste into methane gas, and then it's used as energy to fund other energy-related machinery. This process can potentially reduce the cost of food removal. I'm working on setting up a meeting with the schools to go over these potential cost savings for organic waste removal. More information to come. Attended a meeting with Chief Tavares and Captain McDonough to review with our new treasurer, Sean Strobel, a number of grants that need to be incorporated into the police budget. Had a meeting with Lara Braid and Jeremy Devaney regarding our Northeastern University's Ocean Study Project. And also participated in the Mass Municipal Conference this weekend, and I was joined by a select board member at the Lynn Fiddler. So we got a lot of knowledge, listened to the governor and lieutenant governor as they laid out their budgetary priorities for the upcoming year.
Thank you. I just want to let everyone know that we're not going to have an executive session this evening. Moving forward then to 6:35, which we're past. Our first one is a poll hearing. Okay, Mike. Aleta Street?
Yes, Alita.
Alita, Webster Ave, Marshall Ave, and Dyke Road. Mike, is there an update that you have on this from the DPW?
Yes, so we've got notified, so DPW was notified by Eversource that this was taking place back in October, and on October 10th, a petition for underground cable and conduit locations was signed by the DPW, Sean Patterson and Jimmy Kent, regarding the installation of the 2,190 feet of 4 to 6 inch conduit and 90 feet of 2 to 6 inch conduit and 7 pull boxes on Alita Street, Webster Ave, Marshall Ave, and Dyke Road. I was notified this morning by the lead engineer.
Before we go to that, let me read in, now we've got the background for the citizens.
Sure.
Now, I'll open the public hearing, Mike, and then we can discuss where we're going from there. That'd be
Yes,
all right?
absolutely, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman.
So I'd like to make a notice of public hearing conformity with the requirements of Chapter 22, Chapter 166 of the general laws. You are hereby notified that a public hearing will be held at Marshfield Town Hall, Selectwood Chamber, 70 Marine Street, Marshfield, Mass. on the 22nd day of January 2024 at 6:35 p.m. upon a petition of NSTAR Electric Company, DBA Eversource Energy, dated October 10th, 2023, for permission to locate underground cables, conduits, manholes, including the necessary sustaining and protecting fixtures in, under, and along the following public ways of said Marshfield. Please note that on December 15th, 2023, Eversource withdrew the petition for the poll hearing that was scheduled on December 18th, 2023, and Eversource has resubmitted the petition on the 19th of 2023, resulting in the rescheduling of this poll hearing for January 22nd, 2024. I understand, Mr. Marisco, that we've heard something from our engineering department?
Yes, we did. Rod Procaccino reached out to me this morning. He sent me a quick little email saying that after looking at the site again and looking at the plans for our leader in Webster and Marshall, the proposed location shown is right over the town's water mains. Obviously, this is unacceptable, so if we could hold off, and Eversource will need to find a better location. Rod said we can't have the electrical conduit run over the water pipes. It would create a hazard when they have to replace the mains of the pipes.
I think we have a representative here from Eversource.
Yes.
How are you?
Good. How are you this evening, everyone?
Good evening to you. Did you hear the town administrator that on a concern on the location?
Yes. So we'll go back and reconfigure where they're going to put it because we know that it can't go over the water main.
Thank
So
you.
it needs to be a redesign issue, and then we'll just redo the petition and resubmit it to you at a later date.
Excellent, thank you very much. Just for the record, would you be kind enough to state your name and address?
Oh, I'm sorry. Wanda Sweatman, and I'm at 273 Summer Street, Plymouth.
Thank you very much. All right, so we look forward to having you come back with a new location.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for joining this evening.
Okay.
Mr. Administrator, did the DP sign off on this previously?
Yes, I have a form here with their signature. The petition for the underground cable and conduit location was signed by the new DPW superintendent and Jimmy Kent, the assistant superintendent of operations.
So it was a good catch by our engineer.
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. So, given what we know here, then, unless there's an objection, I'd like to make a motion that we table the petition for the request of N-Star Electric Company dated October 10th, 2023, DBA Eversource Energy, with work order number 12014-004, that wanted to request permission to locate underground cables, conduits, manholes, including necessary sustaining protecting fixtures across the following public ways: Aletta Street, Webster Street, Marshall Ave, Dyke Road, and it was for installation of 2190 feet, plus or minus 4 to 6 inches of conduit, 90 plus or minus 2 to 6 inches of conduit, and 7 pull boxes, underground cables, manhole covers, and so on. So I'd like to, as the discussion we just had earlier, make a motion that we table that with a date not certain at this time. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to table to a resolution's been worked out with the DPW and Eversource.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yep, good evening.
You too.
So, next on our agenda is an application for a change of DBA, the Salt Marsh Restaurant Group, LLC. Let me find that in my packet here. This is just an amendment for change of the name here. Come on up. If you could, just give your name and address for the record.
Brian Schwank, 930 Union Street in Duxbury.
And what we're seeing here is just a standard request for a name change to the, and it's going to be called, I had it here right in front of me, but you can probably tell me.
Just seeking approval to change the name from Station 8 to Ocean House Coastal Grill.
Ocean House Coastal Grill. So
Yeah.
the old Station 8 name is gonna change to Ocean House
Coastal
Coastal.
Grill,
And
correct.
that's this application. I've gone through everything. Everything seems to be fine. We've got the zoning. Any questions, comments, concerns from my colleagues?
No?
Hearing none, then I'd like to make a motion that the board moves to approve the request for Salt Marsh Restaurant Group LLC located at 1899 Ocean Street, Building A and B, to change their DBA from Station 8 to Ocean House Coastal Grill. Thomas Holloway LLC, LLP manager, owners Brian
Schwanky.
Schwanke and Thomas Holloway. Building commissioner approved the DBA on January 10th, 2024. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, for
That would be a-
Ms.
that would be all
Fiddler,
for Ms.
unanimous vote to approve the name change from Station 8 to Ocean House Coastal Grill.
Awesome, thank you.
Enjoy the new name.
Thank you so
Hope
much.
the restaurant's a great success.
Thank you.
All right. We have a couple extra minutes here. Is that Sean hiding in the orange vest behind the podium?
Yes, he is.
Here he is. Mr. Treasurer, we're going to take some things out of order, and we'll wait for maybe Linda to come back a little.
Yes.
Make sure she's okay.
Maybe take, Mr. Chairman, I'd
You wanna take a-
suggest maybe a 5-minute break.
You want a 5? Yeah,
Just
all
let
right.
her-
I'd like to make a motion that we reconvene at 6:51 PM. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is on. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler, unanimous vote to recess for 5 minutes.
5-minute break. We are back, and we're just going to take some things out of order here today because we've got an extra 10 minutes. So we're going to take action item number 1, which is discussion and vote to approve Sean Strobel as treasurer to report to ARPA, which is, Mr. Treasurer, would you come on up? Which is basically, Mike, you can help the public understand it better, you can explain it better than I can, but I understand it's just basically just a official name changing. We have a new treasurer. We have to make sure that the county knows exactly who can sign for grants and various things.
That is correct.
This is a
So
formality.
the treasurer, under ARPA, the treasurers, so the treasurer and the town administrator are the two reporting authorities. The treasurer of the communities in Plymouth County for the ARPA County funds is responsible for submitting the applications. So Lisa Clark was our last treasurer collector. She's no longer employed by us. So now the board needs to appoint Sean Strobel, and the official position is reporter and preparer to initiate applications in Plymouth County ARPA portal. It's a long title, but he's responsible for generating the initial paperwork.
Are you excited?
I'm very excited.
Good.
It's
riveting.
a huge honor.
Okay. So we have, from what I read, we have contacted them, and they know that Lisa's removed.
Correct.
We removed all the previous names.
Yeah.
We'll get Sean's name in there. I know he's excited about it. And so unless there's further discussion, then I'd like to make a motion, the board moves to approve Sean Strobel as the town of Marshfield's authorized reporter preparer to initiate applications to the Plymouth County ARPA portal. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Sean Strobel, our treasurer collector for the town of Marshfield, authorized reporter and preparer to initiate applications in Plymouth County ARPA portal.
And just for the record, if you would, Mr. Strobel, would you just give your name and address, and you can use town hall as your address if you like?
Sean Strobel, 50 Pine Hills Drive.
Thank you very much. Glad you came in.
Thank you.
6 minutes out. So let's move to the next agenda item. Go back up front here. It's got something to do with the harbor master. Yeah, this is a discussion and vote for request for permission to accept a donation from the harbor master, for the harbor master. This is a donation for $500, a kind donation from the Marshfield Chamber of Commerce to the harbor master harbor park gift account. Any comments from my colleagues?
Again, just thank you to the chamber for another generous donation.
I agree. So I'd like to make a motion that the board moves to approve on behalf of the harbor master $500 donation from the Marshfield Chamber of Commerce for the harbor park gift account.
Oh, second.
Thank you.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to accept on behalf of the harbor master a $500 donation from the Marshfield Chamber of Commerce for the harbor park gift account.
I think my accent beat it. Next is discussion vote to request a route for the Best Buddies Challenge through Marshfield on June 1st, 2024. They've been doing this, it seems like forever, it's like 25 years, Mike. And this is the Best Buddies Challenge, just a quick explanation. It's going to take place on Saturday, June 1st. It's an annual fundraiser, raise money for Best Buddies International. It's a nonprofit 501c. organization dedicated to establishing a global volunteer movement that creates opportunities for one-to-one friendships, integrated employment, and leadership development for people with intellectual and developmental difficulties, IDD. It's a 100-mile-long race, and I think they expect, somewhere I read previously, around 250 people at the finish line. They're picking people up, I noticed as they went along, they start with 20, and then at the end, there's going to be, when they get to Hyannisport, there's going to be about 250. Went through it, the police are on, the fire's on, they laid out the map going through the town. Using up some time here, Mike, for us.
Doing a great job, Mr. Chairman.
They're gonna come in, go over the bridge, take a left on Summer. They're gonna church, off to Ferry, they'll come into 3A right there by the, was it
Fairgrounds.
Children's Care area. Go to Ocean down Moraine, and then on to Acorn, and then they're off onto Franklin Street
To Duxbury.
in Duxbury. It's a great cause, and we're happy to have them again. Any comments from either of my colleagues?
Nope. Hope everybody has a safe ride through the town of Marshfield.
So hearing none further, then I'd like to make a motion the board moves to approve the 25th Annual Best Buddies Challenge that will take place on Saturday, June 1st, 2024. Best Buddies is a nonprofit 501c3 organization dedicated to establishing a global volunteer movement that creates opportunities for one-on-one friendships, integrated employment, and leadership development for people with intellectual and development disabilities. The Best Buddies Challenge will be traveling through the following streets of Marshfield: Summer, Church, Ferry, 3A, which is Main Street, 139, which is Ocean, 3A, which is Moraine, and then Acorn Street, pending sign-off from the Marshfield Fire Department and the Marshfield Police Department. And I'd look for a second, please.
Second.
Motion been made and duly second. A roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne.
Aye.
Ms. Fidler.
Aye.
Mr. Darcy.
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the 25th Annual Best Buddies Challenge that will take place on Saturday, June 1st, 2024.
Thank you very much. We have 6:58. So, Steve, I think you're probably going to have something to say regarding this issue, so we have 2 minutes left. So this is going to be, I'd like to make a request that we vote to accept the minutes of the January 8th, 2024 meeting. And I'm sure there'll be comments from both my colleagues because we have 90 seconds left. Did you read them and were satisfied with them, Mr. Darcy?
5 times.
Yeah, okay. Ms. Fiddle, did you read
They
them? Were you
were
satisfied with them?
riveting.
Riveting, I like riveting.
Yes.
Then, without further discussion, then I'd like to make a motion that the board moves to accept the minutes of January 8th, 2024, and I'd like to look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly second. A roll call is in order. Mr.
Don't
Kilcoyne.
get me coughing.
Yes.
Ms. Fidler.
Aye.
Mr. Darcy.
Aye.
It appears to be a unanimous vote to accept the magical minutes from January 8th, 2024 meeting of the Marshfield Select Board.
And we are seconds away, so as soon as that goes to 7 o'clock, we will take up the last item for this evening. As you can tell, everyone, we've been having some fun here stalling for a half hour so we can get to 7 p.m., and which will be an FY25 budget presentation by the town administrator, town treasurer. We've got a couple of other dignitaries here in the room as well. And I have 7 o'clock. And so, welcome Sean Strobel, our treasurer, Mr. Maresco, our town administrator, and I guess it would be best if we do the official thing and say, name and address for the record, and then we'll let you go for your 25 budget presentation.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Happy to be here. Michael Maresco, 201 Arlington Street in Marshfield. It's actually my first time presenting from the new presenters table, so it's a different perspective on our meeting. So I'm joined by our treasurer collector, Sean Strobel, It was a great process working with Sean. As soon as Sean got here and was hired, he did a deep dive right into working to get the finances in order, working to close out the FY '23 budget. As folks know, we'll get that closed out by the end of the month and hopefully get our free cash certified by the Commonwealth. At that point, we had to switch gears and get right to the 25th FY '25 budget because under our charter, we need to turn that over to the advisory board on the 29th, which is the fourth Monday of January. They'll be here next week. I'll do another budget presentation for them. But we wanted the board to have an opportunity to see and hear the budget presentation, give you about a week or so to go through it, and we'll make whatever adjustments, and then we'll have the final version of the budget, do a brief presentation for, and we'll have books for everybody on the 29th. So with that then, we'll get into our presentation. This is our fiscal year 2025 operational budget. Budgetary achievement overview, and I want to thank IT. They were going to assist tonight, and I'll just have to ask them which pages to flip, and they'll be flipping for me. FY '25 budget will provide $1,673,368 in new revenue for the school department, which is a 3% increase overall. General government has increased by 2.47%, and we have maintained our workforce while repositioning resources to achieve this goal. We have accounted for COLAs and contracts in all divisions without using free cash. We continue our cost-share agreement with the schools for human resources. We have recommended an increase to public safety of $589,693 over FY '24 to continue to provide the best resources for the police department, fire department, and ambulance services for our residents. We continue to fund CTG ball field accounts by approximately $100,000 and have provided DPW with department flexibility to move overtime costs around their various divisions. We have not reduced any senior or veteran services. We continue to keep all municipal full-time and part-time positions funded at this time, all while managing a continual increase in our pension cost, healthcare contribution, utility cost, gas and diesel fuel costs to run our town fleet. Next slide, please. Thank you, Jay. Revenues. Revenues are being recommended at 3.81% overall increase over the FY '24 revenues. Our state aid figure is anticipated to be about $18,657.95, or 2.5% over FY '24's number. Total revenue projection for FY '25 is $115,926,854, an increase of $4,257,897.45, or 3.81%. Next slide on this, and special thanks to Sean for these pie charts. He was able to pull these together for the presentation. The charts on this slide identify total revenues on the right-hand side and break out by type of revenues to fund our municipal budget. And as I said, revenues increased by 3.81%. If you look at the chart on the left-hand side, estimated FY '25 other revenues, you'll see local receipts, free cash, bond premium, wetland protection money, cemetery perpetual care, solar panel funding, Council on Aging GATRA reimbursement, community impact fees, waterways, licensing and keeping of dogs, enterprise indirects, Council on Aging state grant, overlay reserve transfers. All of those add up to our revenues. And if you look at the estimated FY '25 revenues, you'll see the breakdown on state aid, lefty offsets, total other revenue, and maximum total allowable levy dollars. The levy is the $80,613,505. And of course, the state aid is the $18,152,044. And the other revenue is $12,903,407. And other revenue is local receipts and other things. Expense explanation. Town's department heads put in requests only for what is truly needed to keep providing services to our town during these challenging times while we're dealing with rising inflation, utility costs, fuel costs, pension costs, and healthcare contributions. Centralized budget process we now have allows the town administrator and the select board to have the flexibility to reposition resources based on the needs presented during budget hearings. Town has overcome last year's challenges with the hiring of a new treasurer-collector, Sean Strobel, and through the process, there has been a wonderful collaboration between department heads and staff, everyone pulling together and working together. Treasurer-collector and I have met with all department heads and reviewed their financial requests needed to achieve the goals of the departments for our residents. We have again not had to implement any layoffs or furloughs, as many of our neighbors have, thanks to the support and recommendations of the Select Board. The following charts and department reviews will provide additional information. Total expenses projected for FY25 of $115,926,854, an increase of $3,697,608.99, or 3.29%. Next slide, please. Okay, this pie chart shows how everything is broken out. Town government, general insurance and Medicare, facilities, overlay, school department, pension total, snow and ice, state and county assessment, debt service not excluded, employee health and life insurance, audit, OPEB, payroll, and munis, town meeting appropriations, debt services excluded, unemployment, reserve fund, and money raised on the recap. Again, like any other town that's in Plymouth County, as I've mentioned to the board before, we're gonna be one of the first counties to have our pension fund fully funded by FY '29. There is a cost to that. You'll see that the pension continues to go up. I think our cost this year in FY '25 is about $9.3 million, and it goes up considerably to about $12 or $13 million by the time we finish in '29. But then after that, we won't have that large nut to crack. We'll have to contribute as new employees are hired. We'll contribute to be much more manageable cost, but that is driving the high cost right now. The unpredictability of healthcare costs. You know, everyone in this room, whether you're a government employee, you work in the private sector, or you work by yourself, the cost of health insurance is astronomical, but you can't live without it. You need it today. You know, we have the fire department here. We probably have one of the best ambulance systems on the South Shore. And you know, people want to be able to pick up and call 911. They're having a heart attack, chest pains, things. We need to deliver those, but there's, you know, the insurance is a high cost for people to maintain that. Same thing with utility cost. Everyone's got their bills here in New England. We get hit harder, even though we've got aggregate electric here. We buy bulk electricity. We buy bulk gas. You know, the Northeast gets hit with the higher cost of the delivery. Our weather is usually colder. Can't say that now with the greenhouse effect. Some areas of the country that are usually warm could be cold. Places that are cold that can be warm. But, you know, we have all of those challenges, and those all take bites out of the budget, you know, and we have to be flexible, be able to move, and make sure that we have those revenues to provide those services. Same thing with gas. You know, we have a large fleet of vehicles, and it's really DPW, you know, they're responsible for all of our roadways, plowing, maintaining the potholes, sanding. You know, we've had fire trucks. We gotta make sure we have gas and diesel fuel for the fire trucks, the ambulance. Police cars, 24/7, 365. You know, we have to have gas for those vehicles. We certainly wanna make sure the assessors get out and assess, because it's one of the ways we generate our largest single revenue is real estate tax, so it's important that we go out and do that it's done fair and accurately. Mr. Darcy's a former assessor, so he knows how important that is, that we get the right dollars and the right values on that property so that it's fair to everybody. So, there's a lot that goes into it. It is challenging times, but really the pension right now, healthcare, and utilities, including gas and diesel fuel, major contributors to what goes on. Next slide, please. Fixed cost summary for 2020. Actually, it should say 25. Oh, a little typo there. We'll correct that. Okay, debt service, non-excluded. And if you look FY '25, you'll see $3,079,829. Debt service excluded, $5,896,919. General insurance and Medicare, $2,709,189. Pension total, $9.127811 million. Employee health and life insurance, $8,634,810. Unemployment, $50,000. Facilities, $380,272. Audit, OPEB, and payroll, $173,000. Reserve fund, $100,000. Overlay, $500,000. State and county assessment, $1,403,952. Town meeting appropriation, $91,188. Total fixed projected increase over FY '24 is $1,233,729, or 3.99%. And just so people know, excluded debt is debt exclusion. So for instance, Marshfield High School, the $50 million that we excluded for the 12,000 square foot addition to the senior center, the new state-of-the-art police facility, new state-of-the-art DPW facility, the two seawalls, Brant Rock 1 and 2, and other repairs to the seawalls all fall into that excluded debt. Excluded debt. And non-excluded debt is when we do capital borrowing, anything that we borrowed inside through our regular operations, not voted by the general public. And insurance and the pension totals. Next slide, please. Debt management. Capital funds appropriated by borrowing or any other financing source may not be used for operational expenditures in any capacity. The town makes certain these funds are kept separate and only used for the project for which it was appropriated by town meeting. The finance team, with guidance from the board, has a policy that does not allow inside debt costs to exceed 5% of our operating budget in total, nor excluded debt to exceed 10% of our operating budget in total. We have achieved both of these goals. In total, debt service has been reduced by $113,353.36 due to interest reduction because debt is being paid down, all while bonding our capital projects. Debt exclusion that was passed on November 19th, 2020 for the police station, DPW facility, senior center, and seawalls. Because our conservative plan of debt management and uniform annual payments, we have minimized our tax impact and will see the benefit of our conservative plan now and through the future. Total inside debt limit FY '25, $3,079,828.94, a difference of $1,047.94. Total outside debt limit, $5,896,919.20, difference of $113,353.36. Other debt, short term, which is like a band borrowing, $85,344.68, and that's a percentage difference of 3.423. Next slide, please. Debt for FY '24, debt management, total inside debt $3,079,828. Total excluded debt, $5,896,919, for a total debt of $8,976,748, and that should say 2025 on that slide. Next slide, please. FY 2025 general government. Total general government number is $784,316. General government has reduced discretionary spending and IT costs due to the purchase of Munis. Built in a 2% projected contractual increase to the salary line items for union and bylaw employees. The town began converting the financials to Munis on December 1st, 2022. The conversion has had its challenges, especially with being able to pull financial data in from the old software system into Munis. This was one of the main reasons for the delay in closing the FY23 books with the state. The full conversion to Munis won't be completed until FY26. Total $3,784,316 for general government, an increase of $376,704, or 11.05% over FY24. And if you look at the pie chart there, you'll see the breakdown, how it breaks out with general government, health and human services, cultural services, public safety, utilities, public works, and unclassified. Next slide, please. FY25 public safety. Town continues to promote and provide funding for its public safety personnel, including full funding for school resource officers at the high school, Furnace Brook Middle School, and elementary schools. The FY25 budget increased public safety by 4.12%. ARPA funds have been allocated to purchase 2 ambulances and a fire truck. The fire department will be utilizing a grant to purchase an off-road truck. The police and fire departments continue to receive support through the capital budget process to purchase safety equipment and police vehicles. Public safety increase of $589,693, or 4.12%. And I did want to mention on the school resource officers, the grants run out, so we are now, the board, committed to funding this, and we've moved ahead with funding this using general fund dollars to cover the cost of the resource officer at both the junior high school, Furnace Brook Middle School, and then we have the officer for the elementary school, and we cost share the high school safety officer with the schools. The schools pick up 9 months, and we pick up 3 months of that to cover the full year. We're committed to safety in our schools, working with our police department. Next slide, please. Okay, FY25 education. The school department will receive a full 3% increase on its operational budget, FY25, for a total projected budget of $57,452,307, or a 3% increase. Schools have worked to improve handicapped accessibility and increase security for all of their schools. The school department opened their new pre-K facility at 255 Furnace Street in September, and capital budget funding and free cash have continued to assist the schools in maintenance, IT, and security-related issues. Next slide, please. FY 2025 Public Works. Town continues to support our public works departments to provide the best service to our citizens. Public Works Division will see a 2.83% increase overall for FY 25. We have worked with the Superintendent of Public Works to reposition resources to provide additional funding for maintenance of the fleet. We continue to support and maintain the ball field and parks account, keeping our fields and play spaces in the best possible shape that our community and sports teams deserve. Public Works also receives support for their capital needs through the capital budget process, for general fund, and through retained earnings for waste, water, and solid waste. Total commitment to the general fund, Public Works, $3,000,000 $301,699, an increase of $90,914, or 2.83%. Next slide, please. Health and Human Services for FY 2025. Town has provided additional council on aging funding for goods and services, allowing our senior population to be active in educational and social activities. Created a revolving fund for the Seaflower Cafe at the Senior Center, and if people are listening and they're in town, they're looking for a great place to have breakfast and lunch, they can go right to the Senior Center, to the Seaflower Cafe for great food at very reasonable prices and a beautiful atmosphere. The fireplace is always going, and in the summer you can sit outside. Increased funding for the Board of Health agent, and we continue to fund one part-time nurse to keep the town healthy during the aftermath of COVID and SRV. Total Health and Human Services budget increased by $6,608, or 0.43%. Cultural Services for FY '25. The library has taken on the task of increasing services by opening on Sunday to allow greater access to the library. Resources during the weekend, including a book drop-off and pickup program, public Wi-Fi, and many cultural programs for our student and general public to take part in. Library rug was replaced last winter, great improvement for our residents. Town continues to support our library and fund other cultural services, including clam flats, veteran memorials, and historic commission's efforts. These cultural services benefit all of us. Total commitment to our library and cultural services is $1,645,564, an increase of $26,026, or 1.67% for FY '25. Next slide, please. Utilities. Town of Marshfield is committed to going green with a very aggressive investment in photovoltaics, battery storage, charging stations, electric vehicles, LED lighting, and other building enhancements. The town will be receiving additional energy credits with the most recent power purchase agreement, as well as placing a solar array field on our capped landfill, photovoltaics on our municipal buildings and carports, and parking lots, including schools, police, council on aging, and DPW. We will be adding electric charging stations at the police, the council on aging, and DPW facilities to eliminate a single point failure in battery storage to hold photovoltaics. We'll also be expanding charging stations. We've applied for a grant through Eversource and through NextGrid, who's our provider, to get additional charging stations at other schools, at the Harbor Master, library, etc., so that people can take full advantage. If they're buying electric cars, they have to be able to charge them. Town implemented aggregate electric with the approval from the Mass Department of Public Utilities in FY '23. We have invested in LED lighting for school buildings and the fire station, boiler replacements at the Central Fire and Furnace Brook Middle School with Green Community Grant funding. We've also added all LED lighting in the town hall to reduce our electric charge. The utility budget covers all town building costs for heat, electricity, and communication. Current funding level is $704,447, an increase of $215,886, or 44.19% increase, with the expectation that this will be decreased by energy credit offsets. Next chart is the revenues, how they break down. If you look at the columns with the headings FY '25 request and then advisory board columns, those are the same, but you'll see how the revenues are put together. You'll see the base tax levy is $74,745,208, an increase over FY '24 by $2,310,858.74, or 3.19%. And you have the statutory 2.5% increase which calculates out to $1,868,630. And that's an increase of 57,771.47 over 24, which gives you a levy limit of 77,113,838. Then you add to that the Furnace Brook Middle School, Marshfield High School debt exclusion, which is $5,896,919. That gives us a maximum total allowable levy of $83,010,758. You add to that state aid, which is projected at $18,657,095, less the offsets, which is $50,000, and that gives you a total of $18,607,095 for state aid, less the offsets. Then you add in local receipts, $10,952,788. And then you have the community impact fee, which is $300,000, waterways funds, wetland protection, licensing and keeping a dog, cemetery perpetual care, enterprise indirects, solar panel revenue, council on aging state grant, council on aging GATRA reimbursement, and overlay reserve. That gives total revenues of $14,309,001. When you add that to the levy, maximum allowable levy, including state aid, brings you total revenue to $115,926,854, which is an increase over FY '24 of $4,257,897.45, or 3.81%. Expenses, same thing. If you focus in on FY '25 request, you'll see general government, $3,784,316, public safety, $14,911,988, public works, $3,301,699, health and human services, $1,537,251, cultural services, $1,645,564, unclassified, $31,000, utility, $704,447, which gives a total of expenses of $25,916,265, which is an increase over FY '24 of $1,305,831.29. School department, $57,452,307. That's an increase over FY '24 of $1,673,368. Then you have debt services non-excluded, $3,179,829. Debt service excluded, $5,896,919. General insurance, $2,709,189. Pension total, employee health insurance, unemployment, facility, snow and ice. Snow and ice is the one thing that you can overspend by the budget. It's allowed by law, so we've had winters where, we're over the snow budget by, $1 million. Hopefully not this year. Audit, OPEB, payroll, and munis. Other expenses, reserve fund overlay, state and county assessment, town meeting appropriations, and then raised on the recap for a total expense of $115,926,854, or $3,697,608.99 over FY '24, which is 3.29%. Closing summary. The FY 2025 budget as presented is balanced. The tax rate was reduced to $10.39 per thousand. The schools received a 3% increase for their FY '25 budget. School resource officers will be funded through the general fund, SROs at the Marshfield High School, Furnace Brook, and elementary schools. General governmental budget has increased by 11.05%. Town Hall elevator continues creating better access for our citizens who struggle with mobility issues, along with our newly renovated bathrooms. We continue to fund one part-time nurse for the Board of Health. We are continuing to fund a full-time assistant planner and assistant conservation agent to manage the very large caseload demands of those departments. We have funded COLAs and contracts without free cash usage. We continue to cost share with the schools for human resources. We have increased public safety funding by $589,693 for fire and police to ensure our residents are safe and secure. We have continued funding cemetery trees and greens, ball field accounts, and have provided the DPW with flexibility to manage their overtime costs. I did want to mention in the public safety, fire, and police, we did put in there the ambulance and fire supplies. At one time, we used to have them in the capital budget. They're really not a capital to be a capital 5-year, $25,000 cost. So we had to build that into the budget. We also built in $250,000 for certification into the police budget. So those are two big ticket items that are built in. The FY25 budget will fund Robert Egan, who serves as the town's wage and measures consultant, responsible for making sure all of our scales in town businesses are fair and accurate. The new DPW building capital project is complete. New police station capital project is complete. Senior center renovation and addition is complete. And our seawalls, Brant Rock 1 and 2 have been completed, with other section of Ocean Street in Brant Rock has been repaired. Fire and ambulance supplies will be funded by the general fund. We will continue to look for ways to reduce cost on these projects as we move forward. DPW is investing in repairs and upgrades in our water and sewer infrastructure, with $4 million in ARPA funding being used between two projects for the DPW, the Surf Avenue project, which they're just about complete, and then the Plymouth Ave pump station, which will be getting underway in the next month or so. The dog park opened in June of 2023 and is being enjoyed by many of our four-legged friends, thanks to the Stanton Foundation, CPC funds, Friends of the Marshfield Dog Park, and the support of the Select Board. Modernization of Town Hall is underway. We've completed 6 new bathrooms, a new chamber, Select Board offices, Town Administrator's office, and repositioning and upgrades to other offices, including the Veterans, Building, IT, Town Clerk, just to name a few. These improvements were funded with no additional cost to the taxpayers by using unspent capital funds from the Senior Center project that was reappropriated by town meeting last year. Finally, we continue to make up ground on maintaining our public buildings, thanks to the great work of our facilities department and the support by town meeting for funding from free cash. So I want to give special thanks to Sean Strobel for working with me to get this presentation put together for the board this evening. Our finance team, CLA and Eric, as you know, we've had here to help us out financially. Thanks to them, thanks to the board for all their support, IT and the IT staff, and of course, my staff, Kate and Jenna, for getting us to this point. So with that, Sean and I are here, and I'm pretty sure we can answer any questions that you have.
Well, first of all, thank you very much, both of you. I'd like to thank you, Sean and Michael, for putting this together. It is, I know, an extensive amount of work, especially for you, Sean, just coming on board recently with all the other issues you have going on, so it was kind of above the call and duty for you to get this prepared in such short order, and as well as the finance team. This is really our first pass at it. We're going to do it again next Monday night. I think that's at the library, Michael. What time is it?
Oh, that will be here.
That'll be here as well? All right,
Yes.
even better. 7 o'clock?
Well, the meeting, our meeting's at 6:30. I don't know what exact time.
Okay.
Yep.
So
We'll
we'll
have,
go over it again. I'm
We
going
will.
to just take some time. I've got some initial comments and things that I made note of here. And I'll reach out to you and Sean for some explanations of that. I'll turn that over to my peers.
Yeah, I'd like to commend the whole team. I know it's just, not just the two of you, as you just mentioned. So as we're going through the next week and preparing for our meeting with the advisory board, I'd like to defer my comments and questions at this point as well, to make sure I ask the questions that need to be asked, and I will prepare that in more detail. So I appreciate all the work you put into this, and from the onset, when we're looking at this, I'm proud of the work you've done, and it's definitely a lot of work, and I think the town will be accommodating to these numbers as well. So that's it. So thank you so much for your work.
Thank you.
I'll follow suit and wait.
Yeah, give us some time. We all made notes, and we'll catch up on that. Any further comments from Julie? Good?
I just want to say, it's hard because, just so the audience knows, this is you've only got this just as you arrived here.
Correct.
Sean and I finished up and we printed it and sent it out. We've had some enormous challenges to overcome to be able to get to this point, but we have to keep government moving forward. As folks know, anyone that attended the special town meeting, we weren't able to close out FY '23. So Sean and CLA and Eric had to go through, and we basically, it was a huge challenge whenever you have a major software conversion. As I had alluded to, you're not able to get the financials. That was a challenge. We had a number of other financial challenges that we had to overcome. And I'm happy to, by the end of this month, we will turn stuff over to the Commonwealth, and we'll get free cash certified. But it was important we get the FY '25 budget out, because it's mandated by the charter on the fourth Monday of January. And then Sean has the enormous task of everything that he's learned. There were the challenges and impediments on getting FY '23 information through and close out. He'll make those adjustments in the first 7 months of FY '24, so that when we get to the end of the fiscal year, he won't have to go crazy. Hopefully, everything will move very smoothly and like clockwork and the way it should work. And we've overcome those challenges.
Next year will be better for Sean.
Yes.
Be better for everybody.
For everybody.
For everybody.
And thank you for that
Exactly.
update, and also it is important for that free cash date. I know that you're working very, very hard on that. You and I had a meeting that, to get the free cash certified to the state. And so we're still anticipating end of month, early February, right?
I'm still anticipating end of the month, so that is the deadline that we have. That's what we're striving towards. I'm hopeful that it will not go beyond the 1st of February, but as you know, anything can happen when you're dealing with a system conversion from a legacy system into a new system. So we're still experiencing some of those challenges even with year-end close. So tomorrow, we're going to start that process, so we'll see exactly what we're up against for the first initial year-end close, and that will give us some indication as to how much more work has to be done to arrive at that number.
Thank you, Mr. Treasurer.
Just interject
Yes, is
for
there
just
any more
a second.
any comments?
Yeah, so where we're working through other things, as you just mentioned.
Yes.
Do you anticipate through Michael that you will be back in front of this board in a period of time? Do we have a actual schedule for, or we're just going to say, we'll go through the advisory board and then as we prepare for a town meeting?
Just so we understand, just so I could, so the FY '25 will come back next week, and we'll do the final read of that, and then we'll turn it over. That gives you the week to ask questions. I think, Ms. Fidler, what you're asking is, as far as the free cash, once it's submitted to the state, Sean will come back. I don't think, he could be back on the 29th to give an update. I don't want to put a time frame on it. There's a lot of intricacies that have to be done and calculations that have to be done before it's ready to be submitted. But as soon as it's submitted, I know that the treasurer will be very excited to come before this august body to let us know that 23 has been put to bed. We've done very well. We'll have free cash because, of course, we have to put back $2.6 million plus interest. I want to make sure we put the interest back, and get that all cleared away, and I'll be able to sleep much better at night.
All of us. Excellent, thank you.
And I should have said too that you guys are both doing a great job and putting a lot of hard work in, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, if there aren't any other comments, questions, or concerns, then I would like to make a motion that we officially close the Select Board meeting of January 22nd, 2024. Look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne.
Aye.
Ms. Fidler.
Aye.
Mr. Darcy.
Aye.
Unanimous vote to close and adjourn the meeting for January 22nd, 2024.
Thank
Meeting
you.
is closed. Thank you.